Hi folks, and welcome back to some more Hearts of Iron 4, and Merry Christmas, by the way. So we're starting a brand new playthrough today with the No Compromise, No Surrender update, or the DLC, which has a whole new lot of mechanics, and some of those came in with the base game update, as well as new stuff in the DLC. Just taken me a while to get my head around, I'm not going to be afraid to admit. It's added another level of complexity to a game that was already quite complex. But we're going to see how we get on. You can give me your thoughts on this expansion and game update as well, as we play with Japan on historical settings, see if we can win World War II, and perhaps do better than the Japanese did historically. At least that's the plan. So let's jump right in and see what we're going to get up with. I've done the boring bits of just simply dividing the units up into armies, but we haven't assigned any units or anything like that. We've got some infantry, some cavalry. There are a couple of motorized divisions. I don't think we've got the industry as Japan to really support them just right at the start of the war. I don't think we'll have enough trucks, so we'll put that right, but we may use cavalry for the time being. Some medium tanks, which kind of surprised me. Didn't think Japan had much in the way of medium tanks at all, but anyway, we've got some. A load of smaller second-line infantry divisions, and some Marines, which is really cool. Let's see what we're actually going to train up here. I want to get a couple of divisions of Marines going, because they're going to be useful. They're also really good quality troops as well. I think we're going to get a lot of just regular, cheap infantry divisions out, and what we'll probably do is we'll convert them into better quality infantry divisions as we go along, and as we can afford to do that. So, going on to research, we're going for the good old opening maneuvers that we do, and that we've done since the dawn of time when playing any of these games. That'll get our industry into good condition. And what's next? Civilian factories. We're going to have a shortage of steel, but there's a nice little trick here. I'm going to do that right now so I don't forget. I don't need to do it. Oh, wait. Manchukuo. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. There we go. Yeah, we're going to get all their steel. In fact, if I wait a while, I can get more than that for a single factory because we've got the benefit. So I'll wait a little while before we trade for that stuff. I think military factories, as much as there is going to be a penalty to building them at the start of the game, kind of think they're going to be the go-to thing. So let's make sure we've got some of those going. We'll worry about infrastructure and stuff later on. There's a lot to get involved with this recent game update. Naval mechanics, new resources, coal, for example, which is supposed to limit our industry as a major power. We'll see how that works. And yes, I'm sure mistakes will be made along the way. But we'll get things going. So we've got a whole load of stuff being produced that we won't be able to afford. I'm going to abandon the medium tanks because I don't think we've got the industry and the steel for it. Well, maybe. No, screw it. We'll get something going. I have some idea, but I think light tanks feel more like Japanese themed. We do want some trucks. We're going to need lots of those. And we're going to need some artillery, some of those, and then just a whole load of infantry equipment. We do not really require... We'll finish the basic carrier, but we do not need extra heavy ships. And then crap stuff that's going to take ages to build. Let's skip all those, because the Navy from the start of the game should be pretty good. We'll leave the half-built destroyers, and then get rid of all the others. Actually, that's not bad. So we don't want to waste a load of progress. There's a load of submarines there. They won't take too long. And then we've got some fighters, and there's some naval bombers. I'll leave the naval bombers going. And our fighters don't need to be top priority. But we're going to need some. It's only to deal with Japan, and then we are going to need some proper fighters as we go. Right then, I want to show you this. This nearly turned me off the game completely. The new Japanese focus tree, and holy shit, is there a lot to get your head around in here. I mean, there's just so much stuff. And we've got some new mechanics here. We're going to have to... And a lot of this is like, it's got a nice historical flavour, but it's going to be some real finicky stuff to try and balance, I think. So we've got different factions competing for influence within Japan. The army, the navy, a couple of civic one, and the Zaibatsu faction. I guess is that an industrial one? An economic one? Not sure. Let me know your thoughts on this. both historical and the way it's presented in game. And look what we have to work with. And a lot of these things are going to alter the balance of influence between the Army and the Navy factions. Now, that is a thing that was there in the war. They were effectively two factions, very jealous of each other, and always wanted to have overriding influence over the course of Japanese policy and where the resources were going. It led to a bit of a dysfunctional and disjointed Japanese command structure. So I guess it's represented. But as we choose options, it is going to upset one faction or the other. I'm not a huge fan of that in games generally, so we'll see how it influences. Anyway, a lot of these tech trees over here, I think this is the alt history tree over there, or maybe there's two. You can go diplomatic, democratic, communist, fascist, all sorts of things that you want. We are going to turn on historical ones so that we can more easily see where we want to go with this. But we can't do anything until there's been an event on the 26th of February. So we can ignore all that for the first 6 weeks of the game. And we just really want to get our industry going. So civilian factories, is that a good one? That'll give us a bonus when attacking other countries, which is not the most essential straight away. But there's some stuff down here which gives us military factories. So it's kind of a cool one to get going fairly quickly with. In fact, that one actually leads to 4 military factories. So we're going to start with this and then work up some of the others. Whew. We can also, this is a new feature update, we can build naval headquarters, which I don't know if they extend the ship's ranges, because that's changed quite a bit now. Naval bases do. Oh, we'll have to feature that in. I think the headquarters give a buff to ships within their region, so we're going to have to put well, we don't have to, but we're going to put an admiral in there. I don't really care who. He can go in. I'm going to maintain that it's not that critical a thing, but it's just something extra to click on. And small buff is still a small buff, right? We are going to have to get our military facilities done because there are things that we want for this. We'll go for surface ship special projects 5% or just special project 5%. I can't see why we wouldn't go for this guy. So we'll put him in there. And outdated equipment is just a ship. Oh, man. There's going to be so much stuff in here to keep an eye on, by the way. It's going to be one of those. So remind me in the comments now and again if there's something long-term that we're supposed to be watching in there. And aircraft, I've disbanded all the starting ground aircraft. We left the naval squadrons in place. We'll change them out so they're all naval bombers and fighters. I don't tend to use carrier-based ground attack ever. Some people do. Some people like it. I just find it's... I want my navies to focus on naval stuff so that I give them the maximum power. However, I could put a squadron in the field of carrier ground attack stuff, but I think I will most likely just sell those guys off. Yeah, we're going to sell all the rest off, get some trade going, but we will go those. So over to the international markets, automatically accept, because I want to get the industry growing as fast as possible. So let's put on... what are these? Interwar carrier airframe. I will leave those. Carrier ground attack. Yep, get those off there. Those are close airs. I might keep those. Might build a few. Those look older. And we can get rid of those. And naval stuff. Yep, that'll do. So maximum numbers, maximum price, add. We might come up against them later. But that's a risk that we are willing to take. I don't think we've got anything spare to sell there. So that's good. Okay, let us roll cameras. And here we go. 10 minutes of setting up, I know. So, rumours of a military coup. Recent rumours have been swirling around a possible coup d'etat being planned by the Kodaha faction, a radical traditionalist faction within the army. Seems likely they will wait until Lieutenant Colonel Saburo Azawa's trial is over. Yeah, there's an ongoing trial, which is going to end up with the 26th of February incident. Anyway, we don't have any option over that. We just get a penalty to stability for a while. You're going to see a lot of pop-ups. Oh, I also bought the Graveyard of Empires DLC because it was on sale at the same time. So we might be having a look at Afghanistan, India, and the other ones at some point. So, Imperial Defense Plan. We're going to go straight on to military factories, I think. We may as well go this one because 35 days, same bonus, but some extras in there. Whether we use the extra bonuses, I don't know. I think we need to put an advisor in place to really get the benefit of that. Let's take a look. Let's just slow that down a little bit. Oh, okay. So that's Africa, Ethiopia turning out. How it always turns out. Let's just pause a minute and get some soldiers on the front line. So we do need some stuff up there. Give me... Actually, we can split you into... Sorry. Do that the other way around. Just give me 6 guys. So we've got 1 full army at least. And we need some chaps on that border. Oh, give me... Yeah, the Marines. Right, it's going to sound an unusual thing to do for the Marines, but I'm putting them on the board. No, that's a bit rough, that one. Let's not do that. They just want to be on the border with Vladivostok. And the reason for that is that we are going to escalate some border disputes with everyone that we can early on. You'll see how that works shortly. Let's get some commanders in here. We might switch these around, but we're looking for infantry officers. And this guy's good. He doesn't have any leadership penalties. Oh, actually, attack and strategist. And we can put him in as a concealment expert. Okay, you'll do nicely. We do seem to have a very nice selection of officers as Japan, which is pretty cool. What else have we got? We've got an armor officer, which we'll need. We've got anyone with tank experience. Does Japan even have anyone with panzer experience or an armor leader? It was one of the branches of the military that Japan woefully neglected. Although in a lot of the terrain, and the Western armies, foot powers thought this as well, that tanks weren't going to be viable, which is one of the reasons why the British lost Singapore so early in the war when that kicked off. But anyway, that's another story. There is a fantastic cavalry commander in here. I always wonder about this in this game, is that it does seem to have an awful lot of stuff that gives benefits to cavalry when they were so little used in the actual war. But I guess it's an option for us. Regular infantry commander. Anyone with half decent stats will do. Actually, this guy, we kind of want to promote him to be... Can we do that now? This guy's got good stats for Field Marshal, so we'll slap him in there. And there we go. Infantry officer leader. Reconnaissance, he's pretty good. Throw him in there. Excellent. Let's get that newly promoted. I mean, the one I'm wanting to watch out for, the stat I don't want to put into lots of positions of power, is this leader experience gain minus 10%. Oh, he's got it anyway. Oh, well. We'll put him in. He looks like a cool guy to train up. And the Marines, there was someone with a supply grace down here that I noticed. Well, planning speed isn't bad. That's the guy. And we can put him in as a logistical expert as well. And he's an infantry leader, which I think applies to Marine battalions as well. So, all good stuff. You can have an infantry leader of anyone. That'll do very nicely. And away we go. Now we've got the base things set out there. So, we've got 6 people on here. We're going to want... Let me find my cavalry. We're going to want some guys on this front as well. We'll draw some lines in. I hate it when that happens in the middle of drawing a line. Always frustrates the hell out of me. Okay, that will do to start with. Let's speed this game back up, I think. So we've got events and decisions already. Abandon the naval... I'm not spending political power for that. So, yeah, these are 2 choices we have that came in, and I'm guessing this was with the DLC. So, with this kicking off, if we were going to have a massive government change and go down alt history, I think that these survivors can be assassinated during the process, and we can spend political power to try and protect them. I don't really care about either of those guys, so we're not going to do it. We're going to save our political power. Oh, there is something that we do have to save our political power for, and if you're not watching out for this, it's down the bottom of here. So, Korea is now classed as the Japanese Empire. I think it might have been a puppet. I can't remember if it was a puppet before, but anyway, it's also in a state of disorder. So, we need to get command power and restore order down here. which should be remove the popular resistance against the current rule. So we need to work on that. Excellent. So that one is giving us some military factories. It's really annoyingly, actually it doesn't matter. It's the 26th of February tomorrow, and you think, I thought this when I first read through, that I would have to do this and trigger this. No, this triggers as part of an event. We don't actually have to select this. So that will happen automatically, and we don't need to mess with it. So we can pick ourselves 2 more military factories. You'll see exactly why in about 5 seconds' time. So the February 26th incident, citing threats to the soul of the Imperial nation, and young officers loyal to the Kodaha faction within the Imperial Japanese Army have organized a coup d'etat with the goal of purging the government and military leadership of those who oppose their ethos of militarism and direct imperial control of the state. They have already surrounded the residence of top officials and have captured the government center of Tokyo. The Emperor, however, remains silent despite the rebels' hopes that he would speak out to support them. How will this incident proceed? So there's options to change the path, go alt history. We are going to go and put an end to this farce now, and that happens automatically. It's not something we have to select. And then that opens up more cool options, which we do actually want to prepare for. And we kind of need to get down to here pretty quickly. I don't think it's massively urgent, but we do need to do this one more urgently to prepare for the attack on China. So that's our plan. So another option for going into China is to build a spy agency and try and get them, or build the first level of a collaboration government in there. I don't think we've got the industrial might to really do that. So now this is something as well. An army of less than 100 Mongolian soldiers have occupied a disputed Manchu village of Toran, directed by Soviet military advisors. It seems that they won't back off without a fight and will need to be defeated if we wish to retain full control of Hulonbir, which is this region up here. So, order the troops to move out at once. We've got stuff on the border. We have political power, actually. And this is... let's see... Here we go. So, we've got 2 options here. This is a border dispute here, which I think we can probably win. So I'm going to prepare to assault this. It takes a while. It opens up a window of opportunity to escalate the incident. I'm not sure if that's a good one to do as well. Actually, there is a good reason to do that. Do you know what? Let's trigger them both. So, and our troops do lose morale if we hang around too long on that. Germany's doing Germany things. The army faction demands increased artillery production. You're going to see this sort of thing pop up a lot. Where's the option for that one then? The army demands this, that, and the other. It should appear. Oh, here we go. Hang on, fight. Good for Turkey. Activates mission. Faction demands more artillery. So what it wants us to do is produce a lot more. What does it actually want us to do? We need 300 towed artillery stored in the stockpile. Okay, so if as long as we build it, then we're good. And we get army experience and a 15% mastery bonus for 6 months. Oh, which probably isn't going to bother us here. But then if we read further down there, there's going to be inter-service rivalry. This is going to modify the meddling Navy faction by Navy fuel consumption. Is it? Oh, God. If we don't do this... Oh no. It's already doing my head in. Meddling factions that you have to work against. Historical element, definitely. Turned into a game mechanic. I'm not sure how much fun it's going to be, though. Expanded the arsenal. Cool. Next thing we have to do is probably go and fix... Do we have to fix it? No, we don't have to fix the government yet. That comes later. That's an important thing to do later. So this opens up the option to go down China stuff. This will gain war support, political power, but it opens up this one. Actually, this is the one it does. This means we can kick off the war with China earlier, I think. Is that right? It does, a year earlier. So we're going to work towards that. I suggest if you're thinking of getting the DLC... Actually, I don't know. Does the DLC contain the focus trees or those the base games? Anyway, it's whichever way. If you want to play Japan, I suggest reading up a bit about this because it's a lot to take in. Or at least I found it a lot to take in. Right. Don't want to miss this. We've got these. We're going to escalate the incident with Vladivostok. No, we're going to do this one. Let's go that one. Can we do both? We needed troops on the border to do this, so I'm actually going to do both. Escalate the conflict. Now, I haven't actually gone to war with the Soviet Union after this, so don't panic about that. We've got the Chinese demands. We're going to now pick on this one. It's a 70-day one, but it gets it done, and then it gets us ready. So, there's not too much to worry about this. That's the naval treaty we can ignore. Japanese victory at Lake Buia. Following a clash between Mongolian and Japanese forces in the border area around Lake Buia. Okay, I think this is over here. The Mongolian forces are reportedly in full retreat. Japanese units have occupied a number of strategic hills around the area and are preparing to re-enter the village of Toran. During this battle, the Japanese captured a number of Mongolian soldiers and Soviet advisors, which will cause a damaging blow to enemy morale. So the benefit of doing this is that we get political power and army experience, which is actually quite nice. And the Japanese victory at Lake Khasan as well. Okay, I didn't expect that. I thought we'd get beat down here. Following a clash between Soviet and Japanese forces in the border area around Lake Khasan, Soviet forces are reportedly in full retreat. Japanese units have occupied a number of strategic hills, blah, blah, blah. During the battle, Japanese captured a number of Soviet tanks. So, now this is nice. I didn't expect this one. We got a 35% cost reduction for land doctrine, which we'll look at soon because that's all changed. But possibly for the better, possibly just a sideways step. I'll let you decide on that. And a research bonus for armor technology. Okay, that's quite cool. So if we go and take a look, did we get land? We didn't get any land. I think we got land up here because I don't remember that looking like that before. But that's okay. We've got the first one done. We're going straight on to... Should I get that one first? We've got time. I'm going to get this one first for the research speed bonus. It's not a lot, but another one of our objectives is to get an extra research slot put out for sure. Second London Naval Treaty signed. Do you know what? I've never, in all my time playing Hearts of Iron 4, ever concerned myself with the naval treaties. Not a single time. More Marines, thank you very much. Are you not in the... You can jump into that group. Oh, I think what's happened... I think I know what's happened here. It's separated some guys off. And moved them around a bit. So actually, I don't know what group you're supposed to be in. Oh, oh no, that's not right. You must be in there, right? No. Where's... How... What's happened? Do you know what? That's still not... Hang on. Hang on. Right, let's make you red so that we can see. You're all cavalry, which is fine. You're supposed to be armor. You want to be in the red group. And so do you. Okay, so let's do that. I've ended up with this guy. This has really messed my army forces up, hasn't it? Change that. I had you down as the Marines commander. Let's put you over there. Yes. You can rejoin the main group. You've got 5 regular bods. And you should fit in. Has it disbanded that other army that I built? Has it lumped them all together? Maybe it's just lumped them all together. I don't know how that's happened. I'm going to change this anyway to that. Do I have the front lines anymore? So we've got cavalry up there, which is where it's supposed to be. Ah, there they are. There they are. Okay, so those guys are still on there. That's fine. And now we've got this big old army up here doing probably very little. Let me just put a fallback order across there. And let's make sure everyone's training and we get some experience. Okay, that was kind of messy. We have a nice amount of political power now. I might hold off. There's a chief of the army, but usually there's a mission that pops up to put a chief of the army in. So we might just hold off with that. Any cool political advisors? There's lots of stuff to choose from. I'm looking to see finance minister. Yeah, we'll get the consumer goods factories down. We'll spend some points on that. Oh God, nearly forgot. Nearly forgot because it's all the way down the bottom of here. Let's trigger a couple of those and restore order in Korea as well. Right, let's do 3 of those. An incoming raid, a Great Wall infiltration raid on East Hebei. So China's causing trouble. So now I'm fully justified in going to war with them. Ethiopia has resolved its conflicts. Right, what else do we need to sort out? How's the factories coming along? Very, very slow. I think some more civilian factories would be good. Now we can start working on getting industry built up. Good stuff. How's the logistics? I need a lot of this. Oh, we're going to complete that mission. We've got a nice amount in stock, so we're going to complete that mission. We've reinforced East Hebei garrisons, which the benefit of that also is... Oh, no, that one doesn't. That one just adds some air bases. But some of these add supply depots as well, and it is a supply desert up in northern China. We can also establish the Mongol military government. So we're going to do that, which I think turns this into... I might be wrong about that. Is it something... Well, we're going to see in 35 days exactly what it does. What's that? Nationalist Spain declared war on Spain. So it's all kicking off over there. And available special project. My usual thought is just to go on the big old battleship. Yeah, let's go for that. Start that. Oh, that might have been a bad mistake. Are we now short of resources? Yes, we are. This is when we go and trade for steel. So we go to these guys. One factory gets us 42 steel. We're going to need all of that as well. So we've established the Mongol military government. Let's see if I think they have to accept. And there's a load of very complicated looking stuff going on in the rest of that. But we want base stability, actually. That would be fantastic for 35 days. That would give us... But this gives a civilian factory. I'll grab that one first. And then we'll try and get the stability. So, Mongol military government. Yep, it was this. And they've submitted to our rule. Prince Yondon Wangchug has stepped down in favour of our candidate for the Mengjiang... I'm not even going to bother pronouncing any of these places anymore. Or names, or officers, or anything. Regions now fallen under our occupation, and the reorganization of their government will proceed shortly. The Emperor will be pleased to hear this. Okay, so the Mongolian military government is now ours. We can take that cavalry force over there, and we can delete that, and we can put it on... I've got to be careful how I draw this. Nope, it's not that one. We're going to put it on this one. By the way, the last Hearts of Iron video I did, I was mentioning we're going to have a new style and theme. We were going to go for highly edited videos. I haven't given up on that idea, but I figured for this playthrough, because there's so much to explain, we're going to do it the old-fashioned way, as some of you did request. So let's make sure we've got that tidied up. Brilliant. And we're going to have a small gap here, which we will... Well, actually, no, we're not, because what we're going to do is we're going to take this 24 division force here and expand that along there. We will use Field Marshal commands to sort this out properly, I think, once we get going. So we're in August of 36. We've got the basics going. I don't think... Oh, we can get radios now. Very important for reinforcement rate that we get those. 162. We do... Oh, yep. Restore order. Restore order over here. And supplies are going to be a problem at some point. So we need to bear that in mind. And get some railways and other things built as well. There's a lot to take in. So we've got 6 months until the war kicks off. Have I got don't have enough military equipment. So that is a problem. We can't change mobilization laws just yet. We do have new guys coming out. Excellent. So we've got more Marines. We like this. We like Marines. So we've got increase armament. What's the historical focus here? Increase armament spending. Another military factory. I think so. I wanted a civilian factory, but this just gets us a military probably quicker. So we'll grab that. It's all about production to start with.